Welcome back to my channel. It's your realtor brain Camille here in North Carolina, and we're gonna get right into it. So I have been living in Charlotte for now about 2.5 to 3 years. I'm originally from North Carolina, born and raised. I have lived in several places in North Carolina. Eastern North Carolina, Raleigh, Durham area, Asheville, and then most recently Charlotte, which is where I am now. And if you've clicked on this video, then you're probably wondering, like, where should I move to? Well, I'm in my 30s, okay, friends. But when we first got to Charlotte, I was in my 20s. Like, I was like 29, right? Yeah, I was 29. And when we originally moved to Charlotte, first of all, the reason that we even moved to Charlotte, I kind of always felt like I was meant for like Charlotte, like big city life. But it, like, as I got a family and things like that, I never saw myself here, like, not intentionally. We actually ended up here by a low-key mistake, the way of life, kind of, so to speak. But before we moved here, we were living in Asheville, and things wasn't really going that well. I was slanging houses in Asheville. Like, I was doing my big one in Asheville. But financially, like, the job market there just was not set up for, like, I don't know. It just is not that many jobs in Asheville. So in efforts to change our situation, like our family life or whatever, my husband started applying for jobs. And of course, with Asheville being only 2 hours from Charlotte, we thought that would be a great move because that would be basically like split between both of our families. And with our boys being so young, you know, anytime we need to meet up to drop the kids off or they can get them for a weekend, like, it was very convenient being in Charlotte. So he started applying for jobs in Charlotte and ended up landing a job in Charlotte. And so the first place that we moved to was basically like temporary because we had to hurry up and get things together because his job was about to start. So we basically took over somebody's lease and signed with the apartment complex, yada yada. And the very first place that we moved to out here when we were in our late 20s, practically 30, was South End. And South End was a time. It was a time. I loved living in South End. There was a few things that I didn't like about it, but for the most part, I really liked South End. And at the time, we had a little one. I believe he was 2 at the time. He was smaller. So it was just me, my husband, and my smaller son, and life was great. There was a Harris Teeter close by. You could literally walk to the grocery store, Starbucks, gas station, McDonald's, plenty of restaurants, Asian, ice cream, Insomnia cookies, Krispy Kreme. Like, it was so much stuff, like, in terms of restaurants. And then we were also close to the light rail. We never caught the light rail. I have never taken a light rail to this day. But to know it was there was also convenient. There were parks close by, but it wasn't really my vibe. It's not like parks that I would like actually see myself walking to in South End. Not in South End. Not that I can think of. None that I would like take my kids to or that I felt was like super family friendly unless it was like a very, very small neighborhood park. And I'm talking small, like one slide small. But in terms of like walking trails, there were like places that you can walk throughout South End that gave you like, there were like trails cut out in between like light rail restaurants. But I think that was the best part about living in South End was just like the convenience, like having your gas station, your grocery store, a plethora number of eating spots for you to choose from. Not fast food, because yeah, it wasn't really like a lot of fast food. I mean, they did have Chipotle, Five Guys. What else is in South End? They have Kava. There's a Cookout, if you consider like lower South End, like lower South End, which is what like a lot of Charlotte people call lower South End, LOSO, lower LO South End. South starts with SO, so they call it LOSO. So if you're like in the process of moving to Charlotte and you see a lot of apartment complexes or townhomes or communities or developers referring to LoSo. That's what that means. But South End is a great location. Like if you're in your 20s, it is a lot of young people out there. Like the Harris Teeter used to play like live music, like bands and stuff. Like it was a time. It's a lot of like bars and just everything. And then with that location, heavy with apartments. Like there are so many apartments in South End and Lower South End and townhomes and people who are renting out their places for, you know, just like the younger professionals. And I think the reason that it's so popular outside of just the buzz, I mean, there's nail salons. There's also, I forgot to mention, like shopping. They have a, what is it, Sephora? I think there's a Sephora over there, but there's also like cute little local shops too that you can shop and get like a tire if you just want to stroll. But and then there's a Publix up the street, like there's a Lowe's close by. Like South End literally has everything, and I think that's what kind of draws like the younger crowd there, because of like the buzz of everything. Like you're literally in the mix. And then not to mention, it only take you like what, 5 to 7 minutes to get into Uptown, depending on traffic and like what's going on. But it don't take very long. And then there's like the electric scooters that you can just grab and pick up and like ride around and then drop it off. But close proximity to Uptown is highly attractive. It's close to the airport. It probably take you maybe 15 minutes to get to the airport. It's just a very central location, but you're not in Uptown. And honestly, Uptown kind of has like, I don't know, I kind of feel like now that I've been in Charlotte for a little while, I used to think of Uptown like, oh my gosh. And granted, I guess Uptown was like that when the epicenter, which is like this big, I don't know, like it was like, I don't know, like it was nightlife. Like it was a lot going on at epicenter. Just think of it as like, I don't know, just restaurants, bars, bowling. Like it just was live apparently. And now it's like a literal ghost town. Like trust me, it's a ghost town. And there are so many homeless people, so many people that like just hang out like around that area, and it's dead. Most of the businesses went out of business during COVID. And since COVID, like none of the businesses have really returned. The only thing over there in the epicenter is that's still standing is Insomnia Cookies. I think they got a Mortimer's pub on the lower level. They brought like this lip gloss place. I think it's like a small business where you can like go in and mix your like paints and colors to make your own lip gloss. They have a bowling alley on a lower level. There is the Red Eye Diner on a lower level. And then like across from the Red Eye Diner, there's a lot of clothing stores that is more boutique-ish. And then Lottie's Cafe is like on the telltale end of the epicenter. That place is so good. I love Lottie's Cafe. I always get like, they have really good lattes. And then they brought this seafood restaurant there. I don't really think it's doing well. I don't know. From the few people that have got it, they said it was good, but I don't ever see nobody over there. And then Kitchen and Cocktails is there, and I haven't been there yet either. But yeah, it's pretty much a ghost town. There's still so many vacancies. There's a Fuji Japan over there. I never see nobody over there. So the epicenter is really like a ghost town for real, for real. And yeah, Uptown just have like a lot of homeless people. But I'll get into that in another video, like the whole Uptown area, because I don't feel like it's like all bad like people say it is. Like, yeah, I'll get into that in another video. But yeah, I think that's the reason why a lot of people move to South End, especially young professionals, because a lot of the corporations are in Uptown, and Charlotte is known for, one of the things that it's known for is banking. And so you have so many banks that are in Uptown, like Wells Fargo and Bank of America, and another few big brands that is Truist. Like there's a lot of banks, and there's also just a lot of opportunity in Uptown, a lot of working professionals. And so I feel like if you don't want to live in Uptown, South End is the next best place. It's clean. But recently, I have been hearing a lot about South End as well in terms of people breaking in cars. I don't know what it's about, but I do also feel like people breaking in cars everywhere, like everywhere. But there are a couple of people that I know that live in South End and they be talking about their experiences. And depending on if you move to an apartment or a townhome or a home, now the homes are expensive. Those homes over there, $700,000 easy up to $1 million. Like they got some nice homes in South End, but if you plan to move to like an apartment and whatnot, apartment prices like one bedroom probably start 1,700 to 1,800 for a literal one bedroom apartment or studio apartment. It is like low key kind of expensive, and so I know some professionals, like young professionals, they will either get a studio or one bedroom or just find a roommate, like on Facebook or Craigslist or wherever young people go. And I think that's the main reason why people like live in South End, because it's a lot to do. But this whole video was not really even supposed to be all about South End, but I guess I just have so much to say about it. I actually like living there, but now that I have a family, like I've been married, but I have 2 kids now, and I just don't feel like it's like really practical. Like it's too fast. It's too fast. Like I need something slow. So that's the only reason why now I wouldn't necessarily move to South End. But to each his own, it's still a very nice area and I highly recommend it, despite what people say about it. Like you got to be safe any and everywhere. So the next place that I would suggest, like if you're a young professional, my best friend, when she first moved to Charlotte, she used to live in Noda. Noda is very like artsy. It's very cultural. It's similar to South End, but it's like smaller. Like, I don't know, it's just like more homier. Like just think of artists out on the street, vendors out on the street selling jewelry. They have like CBD shops. Like it's that kind of vibe. They have like this one karaoke bar in Noda. I think it's called Noda 101. I went for the first time like a couple of months ago. It was so fun. But yeah, it feels, I don't know, it feels like you're like in college staying over there. I don't know. But they also have like really nice apartments in Noda and a lot of like restaurants and eateries and stuff like that. But just think of Noda as more like a cultural district versus South End. I feel like it's more uppity, if that makes sense. It's definitely more uppity. But if you're like more laid back and, you know, like I feel like Noda would be a good spot. And then other places that the younger people kind of gravitate to is like Plaza Midwood area. They also have a lot of apartments and they are building so much. They have this one place that they've been building for a while now. And I think it's going to be more apartments, but I'm not completely sure. But Plaza Midwood area also has like a ton of restaurants like on the strip. And it's also very close to Uptown, but like out of the mix a little bit. So that's another reason. I feel like all the people basically, all the younger people live like closer to the Uptown area, closer to the buzz. If you're not actually located in Uptown, because there are some people that I know that are younger, they're in their 20s and they are living in Uptown. I also helped somebody purchase a condo in Uptown, but I think she was like in her late 30s. Yeah, but she was like a single black female, and she was like less maintenance, you know, type of vibes. So yeah. And then what other one did I have on my list? The university area. How can I forget? So a lot of college students stay in the university area. It's a little bit more spread out. Like the university is up there and it's a little bit more spread out, but I do feel as though, I don't know, I also feel like it's a mixture. Like it's not only like college students and young professionals, it's also a lot of families that stay in the university area as well. And then up there they have like major stores like IKEA, and I don't know, everything's just like spread out. That could be like a mixture, but I have noticed that because of the university, like by default there's a lot of people that stay in that area. Me personally, if I had to choose, I probably wouldn't stay in a university area. And honestly, I don't really have like a super valid reason. I'm talking about in my younger days. I don't have a super valid reason outside of the fact that I guess because everything is like super spread out. If I'm young, like I do want to be in the mix. And so I would prefer to stay in Noda, Plaza, Midwood, or South End. Like in my younger days, I'm not a spring chicken anymore, but if I was in my 20s, that is where I would prefer to stay if I was moving to Charlotte. But anyways, I feel like I talked you guys head off. I feel like I talked you guys head off, but I hope this video was informative if you are looking to move to Charlotte and you're young. Oh, and if you're a female, there is this Facebook group. Like I said, I'm not 20 no more. So honestly, I don't even need to belong in this Facebook group, but I was a part of it. But it's called Charlotte Queens in their 20s, and it has like 18,000 members. But you can make, like, if you're a female moving to Charlotte and you're in your 20s, you can make friends on there. Like, people be posting stuff. One of the girls had posted like a yoga like type of class before, and I went and I actually did meet some really cool people that I follow to this day. But yeah, you can meet like a lot of people in there. But if you're looking to move to the Charlotte area and you're looking to buy something, definitely hit me up. I will put my contact information down in the description box. And again, I hope you found this guys to be helpful. Once again, I'm Camille, your realtor friend, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.
Sometimes it's soft as a misty rain that gently touches